Hello everybody and welcome to today's video, and in today's video, I'll be doing a 2024 election prediction between Elizabeth Warren and Tommy Tuberville. I'm doing these two because on VoteView, Warren is the most liberal senator, and Tuberville is the most conservative. That just makes it, that's kind of just why I'm doing this. I'm going to try to go fairly quickly, so I can get up early enough tomorrow for a soccer thing I'm having. It's not like a tryout, it's like a one-on-one assessment, which is kind of weird. And I also am guest playing in a scrimmage later. So yeah, just labeling all the safe states. For Warren's likely state, she gets New Mexico and Nebraska second, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine at large, and Virginia. In New Mexico, I don't see her doing terribly well with oil workers or the Hispanic Latino vote, so it'll probably shift to the left. Actually, Colorado's probably likely just because she's not going to be strong enough for the Hispanic Latino vote, even though she might do decent in the suburbs, or actually well in the suburbs. Tuberville's going to do well enough with the rural vote. In Nebraska, second. Warren's too strong in the suburbs, especially against just horrendous suburban candidate like Tuberville. Minnesota, Tuberville's actually going to do pretty well with the rural vote. Warren's going to do well enough in the suburbs and do well enough with the working class, even though she, actually in a city like Minneapolis, she'll probably do decent. But across a lot of Rust Belt cities, I could see her doing worse. In Virginia, she's not going to do terribly well with the black vote, but she's going to do pretty well in the suburbs. But Tommy Tuberville is probably going to retain a lot of rural vote. So it kind of really depends on the impact made by her loss with black voters, by her gain with suburban voters. In New Hampshire, she's going to do pretty well with the white rural college educated vote, whereas Tuberville is going to do really bad. May not large, fairly similar thing. It's pretty inelastic though, but it's probably going to be slightly to the left of New Hampshire, like a few percentage points. For Tuberville's likely states, it gets Kansas, Nebraska's first, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, South Carolina, and Alaska. Nebraska's first. The suburbs are gonna. He's gonna get like obliterated in the suburbs. Because Warren's a pretty decent suburban candidate. She's, other than Tammy Baldwin, she's probably the best candidate or probably the best progressive for suburban voters. Unless you consider Kamala Harris, a progressive, then maybe, or Joe Biden if you consider him a progressive. They're both pretty good for the suburbs as well. Kansas, Tuberville is gonna retain a lot of rural turnout, but Warren's gonna do pretty well in the suburbs once again. Iowa, I just see Tuberville obliterating Warren with the rural vote. Indiana, Tuberville's gonna do worse with the working class, and the suburbs are gonna shift away. But it's not gonna be a terribly noticeable difference. Just that it's gonna be likely. Ohio, fairly similar thing. He's gonna do worse, in the suburbs. He's gonna do worse with the working class. Although Warren's probably gonna do worse, with the black vote. In South Carolina, honestly, this could be likely. Tuberville is gonna do really well with the white rural vote, whereas Warren's gonna struggle with the black vote. Alaska, Warren's gonna do pretty with oil workers. Honestly, they're both decent for like oil workers and for like the working class. Or actually, well, yeah, they're both like decent, like below average ish. But Warren's gonna do pretty well with Native American voters, which are gonna be turning out at higher rates in the future. We're gonna see more and more Native American voters turning out in Alaska, which is gonna continue to shift it to the left. So it's probably still gonna be like a single digit victory for Tuberville. For Warren's lean states, she gets Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin. Wisconsin could be tilt. Michigan and Pennsylvania. Nevada. It's gonna be tilt because she's gonna do worse with the Hispanic Latino vote. Whereas Tuberville is gonna do pretty well with the rural vote. Arizona. Warren's can do strong enough in the suburbs, even with traditional conservatives. I see Warren, even though she's a progressive. I think that out of a lot of these progressives, a lot of these more well-known progressives, I think that she would be the best for traditional conservatives because I think that the way that she, I guess like gets her points across, I think that she does it in a manner that would, I think that a lot of traditional conservatives who are very anti-Tuberville could get behind as opposed to just not turning out. I think I could see a lot of, whereas someone like Bernie Sanders is very much like a leftist Trump in the sense that both of them, I said this about Beto O'Rourke and Trump, they're what they say seems to be, and I've had trouble saying this, like not necessarily not I guess maybe not calculated. They say very divisive, controversial things. And it seems some of the time as if they don't think about it. I'm not certain. I'm not like attacking Trump or Bernie or Beto O'Rourke, but I mean like it's kind of the best way to say it. Um, which would be a turnoff to suburban voters. AOC I think is viewed by radical as a lot of or by a lot of voters in general. I think that Warren, the way that she displays her policies, would be policies that a lot of traditional conservatives could get behind. The way that she would be discussing Medicare for all, or stuff like that. I think that she could do well enough with the traditional conservatives. Even though she's going to struggle with the Hispanic Latino vote. In Wisconsin, honestly, across the entire Rust Belt, in Wisconsin could be tilt. Wisconsin being the most conservative, Pennsylvania being in the middle, Michigan being the most liberal. Warren's going to struggle with the black vote to turn out a lot of black voters in all these bigger cities. But she's going to do very well in the suburbs, whereas Tommy Tuberville is going to do very well with the rural vote, but struggle to turn out or do well with the working class. They're both not great for the working class. I think that Warren could do decent with the working class. I think she could struggle. Uh, I the I could see maybe a lot of working class voters turning out for Tuberville, but I think that the order of events that's likely to happen is like most likely is like working class voters just don't turn out at very high rates. Then they turn out for Warren. Then they turn out for Tuberville. Because I see Warren's I see that if Warren can not display herself as an elitist establishmentarian like senator from New England, then she can do very well with the working class. But I think that it's going to be hard. But I don't see Tuberville being able to have a whole lot of appeal. Um, for Tuberville's lean state, he has actually two, North Carolina and Texas. Texas, he's going to do very well with the rural vote, but he's going to get obliterated in the suburbs. But the Hispanic Latino vote's kind of up for grabs in terms of how, or it's kind of hard to tell. I still see the suburbs shifting enough away from Tuberville that Warren um, makes it be able to be a lean balance here, being amazing for the Hispanic Latino vote. North Carolina, Tuberville is going to do very well with the rural vote, do decent enough with the working class that Warren's strength in the suburbs won't help, especially since she's going to do so poorly with the black vote. And the final two states are both Tuberville tilt states. Oh, in Maine, second is lean. In Florida, Tuberville is going to do worse in the suburbs and do worse with older white voters. But Warren's going to struggle enough with the Hispanic Latino vote, that Tuberville is able to carry it. Georgia, Warren just won't be able to turn out the black vote necessary. I don't see him doing well enough in the diversifying suburbs, whereas Tuberville has immense appeal to white rural voters, especially in his own home region of the South. In Maine second, I mean, like, I see him having enough populist appeal. I see it being a low lean, not like a 4, like, I see it being like 1.5. I think he has enough Trumpist appeal, enough populist appeal, but I could see Warren carrying it. Oops, what did I just do? Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. Oops, this is a cinemap. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please comment your suggestions down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.